Tonight, Jamaica yesterday recorded 204 new cases of COVID-19 and 3 new virus-related deaths, taking confirmed cases to 22,471 and confirmed deaths to 413. Minister of Transport and Mining Robert Montague says Jamaica is on the cutting edge of civil aviation worldwide.
And the government is on a program to enhance that. Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen, is on the cutting edge of civil aviation worldwide.
Still tonight, former head of the JCF's Safety and Security Branch, James Forbes, 2014 conviction and sentence for corruption overturned by the Court of Appeal this morning. And NSWMA calls on Jamaicans to help protect sanitation workers and achieve a cleaner environment by playing their part in proper waste management. Good evening. Jamaica yesterday recorded 204 new cases of COVID-19 and 3 new virus-related deaths, taking the total of confirmed cases now to 22,471 and the confirmed death toll from the virus now to 413. The island also recorded the death of a COVID-19 patient as coincidental. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the latest deaths consist of a 54-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew and a 63-year-old female and a 65-year-old male, both from St. Catherine. Meanwhile, the ministry says there are now 8,608 active cases of the virus on the island. Now, of the newly reported cases, there were 79 males and 125 females ranging in age from 2 to 99 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew with 69 cases. St. Catherine recorded 63 cases, Manchester 17, St. James 13, Portland recorded 11 cases, St. Thomas 8, St. Anne recorded 7 cases, Clarendon recorded 5 cases, Hanover and St. Elizabeth recorded 4 cases each, Westmoreland recorded 2 cases, and Trelawney recorded 1 case. The island also recorded 58 recoveries yesterday, taking the total of recovered persons since the outbreak locally to 13,231. Meanwhile, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the Adopt a Clinic initiative continues to be an important public-private partnership to support the delivery of primary health care in communities. The minister, who was speaking at a ceremony for the formal adoption of the Duhaney Park Health Center by Hardware and Lumber at the facility's St. Andrew location yesterday, February 25, said public health cannot survive unless, quote, you have private sector participation, so it is a great opportunity, and I want to commend Hardware and Lumber for this partnership, end quote. Hardware and Lumber has also adopted 2 other health centers, the Lincoln Health Center in Manchester and Waterford Health Center in St. Catherine. The company has committed $1 million per center annually for 3 years to support the facilities. Dr. Tufton says the money will help purchase much-needed clinical and office equipment as well as fund maintenance. Now, as the government continues to combat the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, the minister says it is even more important now to provide the requisite support to these primary health facilities to ensure that the public health system does not become overwhelmed by the increased demand on its resources. Hardware and Lumber also donated 800 KN95 masks and 200 cloth masks to the facility. On his part, Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Western, Anthony Hilton, who donated 3 vans to the facility, thanked the corporate entity for its generosity in a time of great national need. The facility serves the communities of Duhaney Park, New Haven, Corville, Pembroke Hall, Patrick City, Washington Gardens, Meadowbrook Estates, and Riverton Meadows, among others. Still making the news tonight, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency MOCA's cyber investigators say they have observed persistent attempts to gain unauthorized access in their ongoing review of the security of the government's systems and networks, including the Jamaica COVID19 platform. In light of this, MOCA says they will continue to undertake measures to further bolster cyber defense and strengthen the security of the systems. Now, MOCA is encouraging persons with information that can assist the organization in its investigations to contact them at cyberlab@moca.gov.jm or by calling 876-906-3887. This comes following reports of cyber attacks on the Jamaica COVID-19 application. Still tonight, Minister of Transport and Mining Robert Montague, in commissioning the opening of the newly built fire station and newly resurfaced runway at the Negril aerodrome in Westmoreland yesterday, said that Jamaica is on the cutting edge of civil aviation worldwide.
What we did here, ladies and gentlemen, is to overlay the 660 meters of runway right here in Negril. And we have plans to do an additional 151 meters. As a matter of fact, the 151 meters is actually built, but it is covered by the swamp. And all it needed is some additional drainage because it was built long ago, but it can't be used, that extra 150 meters, and we are going to rehabilitate that so that bigger jets can come in and be safe as they land right here. But as we increase general aviation and increase traffic at our aerodromes, we're also mindful of the safety concerns. And the government is on a program to enhance that. Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen, is on the cutting edge of civil aviation worldwide.
Minister Montague also outlined that the government is in the process of acquiring a new satellite system to enhance aircraft tracking.
We are in the midst of purchasing a brand new positioning system, satellite-based, so that any aircraft coming in, flying over, or going out will be tracked. And not only tracked, but it will give us the ability to earn more money. Because right now, based on the manual ground radar, each plane has to be spaced 40 miles apart. And Jamaica is on the active route between North and South America. And as a matter of fact, we actually make more money from overflights than from flights that land. By acquiring this new system, it will allow us to position planes 10 miles apart rather than 40. So it will increase dramatically the amount of planes we can take across, going from North America to South and South to North. And it is estimated that the traffic over the next 20 years is going to be growing at an average of 7% per year, the traffic between North and South America. We have decided to build a new terminal building for the Negril aerodrome. So the engineering works have started, and we are going to proceed on that. And also, we are going to be acquiring a new fire truck deputy suit for this facility, because the one we have here is new to Negril, but not new to Jamaica.
Mr. Audley Diedrich, president at the Airports Authority of Jamaica, in his remarks, pointed out the importance of the domestic aerodromes.
In terms of our aerodromes, Negril and our other domestic aerodromes forms an integral part of our aviation and tourism industry. And in this regard, Negril is even more so recognized, as reported by the mayor this morning, given the significant number of hotel rooms, some 7,000 rooms in the area which the aerodrome serves. Admittedly, for most of this period, 2000 to present, the domestic aerodromes have been playing catch-up with improvements and development. Part of the reason for this is, of course, some amount of neglect and some short-sightedness in an inappropriate principle of trying to match operating costs to revenues for these facilities and the expectation of profit generation by these small aerodromes. It doesn't go like that. They serve much wider economic importance and purposes. As we look to the post-COVID recovery of our aviation and tourism industry, we seize the opportunity to improve the facilities, which is what we're doing now, which will place us in the forefront of the market when the resurgence begins. Let us therefore look forward and plan together with the expectation to emerge better and stronger post-COVID.
Deputy Commissioner in charge of operations at the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Kevin Horton, said that the opening of the new fire station and aerodrome is a significant milestone.
I am elated to be in this audience today. Indeed, the Commissioner, the management team, and the men and women of the National Fire Service congratulate the Ministry of Transport and Mining, as well as the Airport Authority of Jamaica, on this accomplishment. It is truly a significant milestone, especially at a time when Jamaica, like the rest of the world, is facing the worst pandemic in modern history. It is accomplishments like these that continue to give Jamaicans hope to overcome challenges. We at the JFB stands ready to forge meaningful partnership by means of MOUs and memorandums of agreement. This is crucial and may become very handy if the protocols of a national emergency management should be activated. Another area is providing extension coverage in the field of EMS, air ambulance pre-hospital emergency transport, and it is hoped also that not in the so distant future to assist in combating bushfires here in the West, and via aerial firefighting in the use of small fixed wings, aircrafts, helicopters, and other aerial resources, joint training initiatives, etc.
In other news tonight, former head of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF's Community Safety and Security Branch, James Forbes, this morning had his 2014 conviction and sentence for corruption overturned by the Court of Appeal. Forbes, who was a senior superintendent of police at the time, had been accused of destroying a case file prepared against Bruce Bicknell of Tankweld, who was accused of offering a bribe to a policeman to dispose of a traffic ticket for speeding. Forbes was fined $800,000 or 6 months in prison after he was convicted for attempting to pervert the course of justice. Bicknell was later freed of the charge. Portland Western's Member of Parliament, Darrell Vaz, was charged jointly with them, but he was also freed. This morning, the Court of Appeal, in apologizing profusely for the lateness in handing down the decision, said $800,000 that Forbes was fined by a magistrate in the St. Andrew Parish Court should be refunded to him forthwith. The matter was appealed in 2018. Continuing with tonight's news, a man from St. Anne was fatally shot on Mandela Highway in St. Catherine yesterday evening. Reports coming into our news center indicate that Gregory Lawrence of Bamboo was shot by men traveling on a motorcycle at approximately 6:30 p.m. while he was driving a black Toyota Tundra SUV along the busy Mandela Highway. Now, upon reaching the vicinity of Caymanas Crossing, 2 men reportedly drove up on a motorbike and opened fire upon the vehicle. The impact of the bullets tore open a significant section of a side window of the SUV. A woman who was also traveling in the targeted vehicle was also shot and injured during the attack. A police investigation has since been launched into the incident. Still tonight, police officers assigned to the St. Andrew North Police Division arrested 4 persons, including a woman, after an illegal firearm, ammunition, and other illicit items were seized on Sunrise Crescent in the parish on Wednesday. The following items were seized: a Browning 9mm pistol, 18 5.56 rounds of ammunition, 12 9mm rounds of ammunition, 2 12-gauge cartridges, 2 Glock 9mm magazines, 1 pound of marijuana, and 1 imitation bulletproof vest. Reports coming into our news center tonight are that at approximately 8 a.m., an operation was conducted at a premises in the area where the firearm and the ammunition were found in a hole in the wall. The marijuana and the imitation bulletproof vest were found in a bedroom. All 4 persons were subsequently arrested. Their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. Still making Mello TV news, the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, is calling on Jamaicans to help protect sanitation workers and achieve a cleaner environment by playing their part in proper waste management. Community Relations Manager at the NSWMA, Kimberly Blair, is asking that persons be mindful of the way that they dispose of their waste, as the authority has noticed that bins are filling up faster, with persons spending more time at home. She is also reminding householders that garden waste and bulky waste must be separated from household waste, as they impact the capacity of compactor trucks meant for household waste collection. Persons are also being reminded that garden waste and some household waste items can be used to make compost to add nutrients to backyard gardens and plants. The NSWMA is also calling on persons to be particularly mindful of how they dispose of contaminated waste during the current health pandemic, especially for the safety of sanitation workers. And those are some of the stories making news. We will return with more stories as $328 million has been provided to wrap up activities under the Montego Bay Waterfront Protection Project in the upcoming financial year. And Minister of Housing, Urban Renewal, Environment and Climate Change, the Honorable Pernell Charles Jr., yesterday handed out land titles to 67 residents from 6 communities across St. James. But first, we'll take a break and then join Christopher Scott with the very latest in sports.